In this video, I'm going to share with you a formula and a software that you can use so you don't never overpay for your BRR or buy-to-let projects again. Because what most people do is they look what's a property's up for sale for. They think if it's up for 120, 150, let's see if we can negotiate a price down from that. And there's just a tiny little bit more that you need to be doing in between that. So look, if you find these videos useful, give it a quick like, but I'm going to dive straight in and waste no time. So let's go in and have a look at a deal like this. So this deal is in Liverpool. Don't know if Liverpool is your investment location or not, but identify a deal like this. Make sure it's something that doesn't need a tremendous amount of work doing to it. And then just try and figure out how much needs doing online. This is not important that you get this bang on. It just gives you a gauge to see if this deal is worth pursuing or not. If you're wondering how much costs things are, if you put in a comment refurbishment cost, I'll send you a list of all the costs what we roughly pay, like a gauge of it. You will have to adjust those area specific, trade specific, specification specific, but it gives you a little benchmark to start with. Let's say, for example case, we find this property here. We can see it doesn't need a tremendous amount of work. Let's just assume that this needs maybe around 20k max spending on it. This is just a quick little look through. This is not exact figures, just as a disclaimer. So let's say we need 20k to spend on this property. What we're going to do, the first thing we want to identify is what are properties in this area and in this region going for? So what are properties going for in this area? So at the bottom here on Rightmove, you'll have recently sold prices. You won't get all the data on here. Sometimes you have to go across to multiple different sites and check in multiple places. But let's just use this one, for example. So we can see here in 2023, £122,000. Pretty much similar house. You've got to be like for like, same amount of square footage. You want to have a look at the same sort of style. So look, this is a mid-terrace, looks a similar sort of style. And again, the condition, look, this is in a nice condition. Got a nice new modern kitchen in there, grey carpets, whitewashed walls, plastered walls, decent bathroom. Nothing wild, definitely something that's more than achievable to be done on around a 20k budget. So we can see this here. Make sure, don't always, again, these are not always exact. So here's an example case of this. I had a comparable property, a property that I bought, sorry, and the comparable price of when I bought it didn't come onto Rightmove, but the pictures from the Rightmove lettings did come on there. So it looked like the old owner had bought it years ago, but it was in the condition I'd refurbed it to, because these are just algorithms that scrape data. This is why you do want to triangulate it and cross-check it across multiple different platforms. But then once you've got this data here, you've got your comparable prices, you've got roughly what you want to spend on it. Again, if you're struggling to spend on it, I'm going to link a video in at the top of this page of me walking through how to cost the refurbishment. That might be able to help you alongside that sheet of estimated costs. So comment below estimated cost. Watch that video after this one. It'll be in the description. So now you've got the area. Copy this area here. Copy this over and go to a software called Lenord. This is a free software, by the way. And then you'd copy and paste this into here. It would even find a postcode for you. It's superb. But let's say you bought it for asking price. We spent 20k on it. The end value is 122. I don't know what the rents are. I'm just guesstimating that. Here, below here, you can click on here and you can get an average value model. This is banks like Shawbrook use this method, so it just scrapes the data offline, the square footage, the condition, and it gives you an estimated value. Not super accurate, but really, really useful. And as I said, some banks actually use these. You can do the same with the rents as well here, but we're not going to go too much in depth on that. What we're going to do is we're going to look at this with a bridging, because this is a big cost that people don't factor in when they're figuring out their end value. And a lot of people do BRR on bridging. You can figure this out on bridging, or you can do it with cash. But let's go and look at the bridging example. Great thing is, look, already it's telling me a little bit of data around the area, and I can go on postcode data. As I said, I'm not going to go into depth here. We're just talking about more on how much we should be offering for it. And the thing I love with this tool, it gives you this sliding bar. So what you offer on a BRR or even a buy-to-let, and you can do the buy-to-let options here as well, is you've got to look what the end value is and the cost in between. And the most important figure that I'm looking at is return on capital employed. So buying this on the bridging, with everything in total, you're going to need around £42,300. It's including this, calculating stamp duty and stuff like that. You can You can edit these metrics and add in different costs for closing costs and stuff like that. But as I said, I'm not going too depth here. I'm just giving you an overview on what to offer for this. Instantly, it's going to tell you how much the bridging costs are, which is good. If you think this refurbishment is more like a 6-month project and turnaround, you can drop that and change that down. But the numbers you're looking at is the return on capital employed and then how much money is left in the deal. So with how much money is left in the deal, what you want to calculate is most people are going for like 5-10k on average, although sometimes you get more. But here, off the back of knowing these metrics, how much money's left in the deal, how much cash flow do I get at the end of it, what is my my return on capital to deploy. This will mean if I've got 11k left in the deal, how much cash I get on that. They're the figures you want to know. But then ultimately, if you want to figure out leaving as little as possible in this as you can play around with these metrics. Sometimes you might not have comparables. So you might say, okay, if this was worth 130, between 125 and 130, what does this look like at 130? You go down there, it leaves 5k in. What does this look like if I get the offer accepted at, I don't know, 70k? You can, or 71k. You can play around with this and play around with these metrics, and then start getting a gauge of where you start negotiating and offering on this. And look, in this case here, if it was worth 130 and you got it for 70k, for example, you would have actually be paid 400. So this means money raised after refinance. It means they pay you back. So 75% of it would actually give all your money back and some money on top. I'm going to put a clip of a property that Tony just come through my coaching program, has just done this deal, this BRRR deal, and got all his money out and 2k on top. So these deals do still exist, and he done this remotely, by the way. These deals do still exist. They are rare though, just to manage your expectation. Don't expect to get all money out. Typical is going to be around 5-10k that you're going to leave in a deal. Hence why you want to do some selling deals along the way, because if you sell the deals for 5k, you leave 5k in the deal. You just top up your money with the deals you sold, keep active with the builders and the agents, and you can keep rolling forward that way like that. But this will give you a real gauge and an understanding on what you can offer on the property really, really quickly. What I'll do is I'll link a link in the description as well for this software. It's absolutely free, as I said. Download it and enjoy the software. It does lots of other things as well. So if you found that video useful, please give this page a like and a follow. It really does help the page if you do that. My wife's live on my terms. My mission is to help as many people live on their terms. So please share this out. But remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you'll never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms, and make sure you watch this video here that YouTube thinks you will find useful next.